Greetings, friends, esteemed denizens of Dolovan, residents of the blessed province of Kerys, and all Paxians herein residing in our beloved Danu. I am Eltarii, and I have the distinct privilege to represent the Golden Company and oversee the Golden City located in Dolovan. I recognize that for the last several weeks, the Golden Company might have come off as isolationist, monolithic, or even worse, dictatorial. The reason I am talking to you here today is because I would like to take some time to explain who the Golden Company is, explain our goals and intentions as a clan, and through building the Golden City, shed light on how we collaborate with groups around us and provide clarity to our purpose. I hope that through explaining our intentions and in good faith following through with actions, we as a clan and organization can show we are indeed the opposite of isolationist, monolithic, or dictatorial, and rather show we are inclusionist, multifaceted, and democratic. I believe words are cheap, but action is invaluable, so we intend to follow up with everything here with our continued action and follow up with further states of the city in weeks and months to come. For today, we're going to talk about the Golden Company and the Golden City, what our goals are, and what we're doing to accomplish those goals, and how we need your help as well. I will then talk about our general stances to alliances and trade, how to best get in contact with us, and detail any future plans that we might have. What is the Golden Company? So the Golden Company is here with the express purpose and intent to build, maintain, and protect the Golden City. We are a group of players that will never exceed the number 100, and we do that because we believe that any number over 100 is going to be expressly difficult to maintain group cohesion, and everyone kind of becomes a number, and we never want that. With that less than 100 players, most likely, what are we doing? We're trying to build the Golden City, which is a medieval accurate fantasy city that exists in Dolovan on the server of Danu. And we are trying to build this city not for ourselves, but for everyone else in our local home valley, in our province, and the server at large. We're trying to build the de facto capital city of our region, if not the server. And we are doing this with the express intent of remaining neutral and non-expansionary. So what do I mean by neutral and expansionary? So neutral, we don't intend on taking up sides, picking alliances, trade organizations, or anything that might be exclusionary towards other groups of players. We don't believe in locking people out. We believe in accepting everyone in and being a place where all can congregate and gather. Now, obviously, there are some constraints to that. If there are offenders and players who are just toxic to the community, then that is something that we cannot really maintain, but that's neither here nor there for what I would perceive any organization on Danu. You shouldn't be accommodating of toxic individuals. But the neutrality that we maintain is one that we maintain for the purposes of allowing everyone to come and participate in what we are doing, because we're building something that is definitely larger than ourselves and far more than what we physically need. We want to be a place where all types of players, from solo all the way to large clans, can come and utilize the goods and services that the Golden City is providing and the Golden Company is providing without any form of biases or being segregated out from other groups because you're fighting in a war in some far off land that's nowhere near the Golden City, or maybe it's even right outside our gates. But we also are non-expansionary. And what I mean by that is we don't intend for expanding our reach outside of our local region. We very much so intend to put all of our focus in building the best city that we can, that is most utilizable by all who seek to enter the gates. And it is for that purpose that we are creating this Golden City. Now, we look to provide a lot of different resources to players. We want to be a place where you can gather. We will constantly be hosting events in the coming weeks and months regardless of whether or not the game has an update or not, we intend to be here in the Golden City, on the Golden Isle, running events for all of you to come and participate in. Right now, what that has really looked like is we've been running dungeon runs, and we have them happening regularly. And in fact, the future is going to see a lot more regularity when it comes to dungeon runs. We want to run at least 2 or 3 dungeons a week, and every member of the community, be it from Innisgallia to Mary all the way down to Kerys or Ancien, you are more than welcome to join us. Our doors are open. Now, we don't intend to run things as very large zergs. We do perceive that you lose a lot of fun in the game when things just become instantaneously easy. So we will hold group restrictions to about 12 players per group. And if we have more players showing up past that, then we'll split our groups and go to multiple dungeons that are local to whatever area that we're exploring in at that time. In the future, we're going to have many more events, seasonal events. There's an event coming up on the 21st that Dolovan was lucky enough to win for hosting it in all of Kerys. And that is a very exciting event. It's a full moon ceremony. And we are going to be having a tavern crawl where players in Kerys are going to be welcome to travel all the way across a very large swath of Dolovan and experience all of the amazing buildings and taverns that have been built across Dolovan. It's going to be an amazing RP experience, and it is only scratching the surface of things that we intend to do in the future. Now, we also have more events coming down the line, and in fact, we have created a committee for storyboarding for different activities that will happen in the city at large, or maybe even Dolovan, Kerys, and Danu as a whole. And these are things that we are doing as an organization to bring enjoyment to all of you. It's something that we want to bring outside involvement in at some point in time so that we can continue to build experiences for everyone in a way that makes you want to log in to PAX Day every day. Maybe there's not an update, but you know, sure as heck that the Golden City is going to have something for you to do. Now, let's talk really, really quickly in terms of how are we run and governed. So we have one person that makes decisions in the Golden Company, and that is myself. I do represent the voice of the Golden Company, and I do that because it removes responsibility from all of our players when it comes to decision making. And at the end of the day, while I am the one making decisions, it does a huge disservice to actually how we run as a group. We establish many, many committees on several different things, from combat to dungeons to exploration to trade and economy to storyboarding to outreach to recruitment to media production. All of these committees are things that any number of our players can go and join. There's no cap on the teams. There's no limitation to what you can or cannot join. It is, if you're passionate about it, you're able to get in as a member of the Golden Company. And those groups are really the ones that are informing me on what decisions I need to make. And 98% of the time, I just go with the decisions of the group. So while it might seem like it is a dictatorship, at the end of the day, in practice, it is something where most of our players are the ones making decisions. And that's a really amazing thing to have because it helps the entire group as a whole remain cohesive, which is critically important when we're trying to build a city that needs to be stable and needs to have that neutrality that continues throughout. And with that, you need a singular voice that is expressing all of the thoughts and opinions of the 100 of us that are going to exist and the hundreds more that will exist in the city. Now, we also fully intend to create a democratic structure in the city. There will eventually be a council that different player groups can have representatives nominated to those positions. And once markets and economy and probably eventually taxes will make it into the game, we intend to fully and 100% reinvest anything that we make back into the betterment of the city And we will do that through many different means, but one of the largest ways that we intend to do that is by allowing these council elected representatives to allocate funds to various projects or groups or for various things to really improve the betterment of the home valley that we reside in, but also the server as a whole. Now, who do we want to work with? Really, it's anyone who wants to see Danu as a server build itself up and grow as a community. We want to be a positive force in the game, and in reality, we align with anyone who wants to be a positive force as well. Now, when it comes to aligning ourselves with the various trade organizations or alliances that are actively forming in the game, we don't really want to participate in those things because we perceive that as exclusionary from the perspective of the Golden City. We want to remain a neutral entity that all players can feel welcome in. And if we align ourselves with any individual trade organization or alliance, it's going to become very, very difficult to adhere to whatever the stance is of that alliance or trade organization and also remain neutral as a city. A great example of that is if we participate in a particular trade organization and then there is a list of embargoes that happen against a different city or a different player-run clan or knighthood or whatever it may be, we don't want to have to be forced to participate in that and then disclude a majority of players that are coming from a different region who might want to participate in the Golden City. We want to remain neutral for that purpose, where all players can come and participate and communicate and engage with one another in a way that maybe they wouldn't be able to in any other city or location in game because of an ongoing political or war or some other kind of conflict that might exist. That begs the question, how will the Golden Company execute this neutrality in PvP? A lot of us really enjoy PvP. In fact, a lot of us came to PAX Day for the PvP. But 100% of us understand and believe that the only way that the Golden City is going to thrive is if the Golden Company remains neutral. So we'll never just go and attack someone in a PvP zone. If you attack us, we obviously will reciprocate, but we don't hold grudges. We don't look for players and engage with them outside of the bounds of what the rules are in game. So if you go and kill us in Lioness for whatever reason and you end up winning the battle, congratulations. We're not going to come to wherever your city is and try and board you up and troll you in any way, shape, or form. And we do this, again, because we want to maintain neutrality, but we also want to set a standard that we believe everyone should be able to engage in game. And we hope that our demonstration of these ideals will be something that is reflected on other groups as well. Now, that doesn't mean we won't engage in PvP. In fact, if you want to get us involved in a war, we'd love to participate in a war with you, but don't think that our alliances will stay with you. If your enemy perceives the need to also need help from the Golden City, we will provide equal assistance to both sides and we'll just go and kill each other on the battlefield. It does not matter to us, but we don't pick sides. We don't send support to one side without the intent to be able to send support to the other. And we don't take any personal grudges out against any group because, again, at the end of the day, we're here to support the city, not to support any particular group or help them in expanding. So what kind of events are we doing right now? We have many events that we're planning on doing. Like I said, we have a storyboard committee that is literally designing numerous different RP events. We have several storylines that we're already shaping for this version of the Golden City. And not only that, but for our region and province and the entirety of Gallia as it stands right now, we have storylines that we want to play out. And we want to invite everyone on Danu to come and participate. Everyone who's in Kerys or Dolovan can come and participate. The best way to do that is to go and join the Golden City Discord. All of our RP events are held there. This Discord isn't the Golden Company's Discord. It is a community Discord. In fact, if you have 5 or more players in your clan, we will even go and add your individual clan as a particular role. And we look to put out more and more features for this in the future that is based on the needs of everyone in the community. So if it comes to a point in time where players want to be able to organize their clans and have their own chats that are private to just them or their businesses even in the Golden City Discord, then that's something that we want to have provided to them. And by having these roles, we kind of make that something that is available. If you're interested in being a moderator on the Golden City Discord, then all you have to do is message me and we can set it up for you. And we want to be a place where it's not just Golden Company that is maintaining it. We want it to be something that eventually the community as a whole kind of takes up and uses for its own needs. Now, we don't envision the Golden City Discord being something that replaces the Danu RP server or any of your trade organizations or any of your religious organizations or anything like that. We want it to be a tool that any player or organization can utilize for whatever benefits they currently need. And we're not looking to replace or compete with anyone else in that matter. At the end of the day, the Golden Company and therefore the Golden City is a group that we want to bring in other players, other individuals, other organizations to participate in everything that we're doing. Right now, we are probably at the largest in terms of percent of land that we own in our home valley of Dolovan. That's about 20% at the time of last counting in terms of total plots versus our plots. And that is probably the biggest that we'll ever be in the game in general. The purpose of this is we want to eventually be able to remove some of our plots and allow embassies to come and sit in our city on the Golden Isle and in the areas around it. And in reality, that's something that I see as being a really fun and cool benefit for anyone who wants to come in and have a more embedded aspect to the Golden City with their organization coming in and being involved. The Golden City at the end of the day is something that we're building for everyone else, not ourselves. We get our enjoyment. We wake up every day with the enjoyment that we create for others. And we want to build a positive community that exists in PAX Day. And for that, this is why we exist. So in closing, I truly hope that all of this detail helps to clarify what we are doing, why we are doing it, and how we are going to try to accomplish our goals. We truly do not wish to take over the server. Instead, we want to be a place all types of players can come and seek good trade, fun times, and new friends with new stories. We are building something for everyone, not just ourselves. I wish that all of my words excite your imaginations and inspire you to be involved in what we are trying to build, or at least replicate it at your respective communities and inspire you to do something similar in those locations. At the end of the day, the creation is what we make of it, and I can't wait to see the world that we create together. I hope to see all of you very soon, and thanks for listening to our first ever State of the City.